I am a little bit nervous about doing this video because I have never uploaded a video in English, and if you are my subscriber, you have seen more than 250 videos in Spanish, but by the title of this video, I wanted to tell you about the things that have grown in me and I have grown out of. I have really been struggling for the past 6 months now, but finally I am overcoming the fear of talking about it. I feel like, first of all, I felt like I was not going anywhere. If you hear background noises, it's my washer machine and Kayla being noisy for a little bit, but so I wanted to talk about why did I change. I feel like if you are living this life independently of whatever, you have to change. I feel like if you're not changing, if you're not evolving in life, I think that there is a huge problem. If you look at yourself 10 years before the day you're watching this video and nothing has happened to your life, we need to do some serious auditing, and we need to see what is not working for you and why you're not advancing in what you want to advance. Are you okay? Okay. So I see myself 10 years ago. 10 years ago, I was 18. In 10 years, I can say I've gone through major breakthroughs, breakdowns, and a lot of evolving. And I feel like last year was finally like closing that 10-year mark, because I feel like it was a heck of a decade. So it was the close of it. Like, I decided to now that I am remarried and have this new marriage in life, like, my heart finally decided to settle down in this country. That doesn't mean that I'm not gonna travel, but I decided that it was time to settle down my wishes and my emotions to live in another country, because every year I started the year by, I am going to move back to XYZ country, and it never happened. I never had the opportunity. So I finally decided not to give up on the dream, but surrender the dream. It's two different things.
Hi.
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 We are in our pajamas.
Hi.
Hi. Okay. So last year was like wake up call from God saying, hey, I think you need to settle down your head and finally look around you and what you can do around you. And I know it sounds funny, but I have always been working in Spanish. That doesn't mean that I'm gonna stop doing things in Spanish. That doesn't mean that I'm gonna stop nurturing the people that are around me that speak Spanish. But I do realize that God wanted me to settle down my head and to nurture the people in the community that I am in, aka in English, aka here in the States. So even though you can turn on your captions in Spanish, I think it's amazing that you can still do that. And I just feel like this is a new era, and I finally can see myself in 10 years. I'm gonna be almost 40, and I can see myself in a whole different vision than what I saw myself 10 years ago. 10 years ago, I saw myself here, and these 6 months had been about dreaming and letting God give me vision, and telling God, basically surrendering everything that I have ever wanted and say, God, what do you want me to do? Because it's not about me. At the end of life, I am not taking all of you guys with me. I am taking my soul and my spirit, and that's the only thing that is going. So might as well just put my soul and my spirit to whatever he wants to do here. So when I say here, I am saying here in the United States. That doesn't mean that if you live in another country, I can still help you. I can still coach you. I am bilingual. I can do that. But the reasons I changed, and I did a list of 3 things, and I changed because I faced myself, number one, in we always read this passage, Jeremiah 29:11, and it's my plans versus his plans. But last year that I read it, like around November, it hit different. I'm like, well, this is why I don't see a, how do you say it? Like, I don't see why I'm not being able to pour into another people, because that's my thing. I want to pour myself into you, so that way you don't have to go around in life wondering what the heck you need to do. Just go around in life and know what you're doing. So Jeremiah 29:11, it says, I know the plans that I have for you. And so many times we read that as if we wrote that. I know the plans that I have for you. And we talk to ourselves, and that is not right. So I surrendered my plans to him, and he, like, little by little, just went changing my heart, and that changed me at the end of the day. Number 2, in Psalms 1:3, it talks about a tree that is planted at the riverside. And God, during that season when I was studying that, he was just talking to me about how some people need to uproot their vision and uproot themselves from their past, because sometimes that's why we don't flourish in life. That's why we don't see fruit in our life, because we are so rooted in our past that we are not letting the fruits of the present and the future be in our tree. So if we're going to be planted beside the river of life that is God and Jesus' sacrifice and all of this, I think that we need to learn how to be rooted on that today, because this is what we have today. If you're watching this today, it's because you have this today, and we need to leave the past behind. So when I encountered this verse, I was like, I need to uproot myself from my old vision and my old self, and I need to let God create. The version of Stephanie that he wants to create, to bless and to expand the kingdom. So basically, that's number 2. And number 3, talking about fruit. In John 15, we see that he is the tree and we are the fruits, right? And so sometimes we feel like we are not changing and we are not growing, or we change but we don't grow, but we want to grow but we don't change. So change versus growth. So we need to know that in order for us to grow and evolve and give fruit in life, we need to change. In order to change, we need to be conscious that growth is going to hurt, that growth is going to be painful. But if we are in the tree of life, if we are part of the tree of life, if he's in me and we are in him, everything is going to be okay. Change, it's so scary. Doing this right now, you have no idea how horribly my legs are shaking, because for me, doing this is a big step. And I read something that it says 3 reasons why people change. They have learned a lot, they have suffered enough, and they are tired of always the same thing. So if you are in those 3, I think it's time for change. But also, I think it's time for growth and time for uprooting your old vision and your old self. And you need to know that his plans are not your plans. And sometimes we need to surrender everything in order for us to be vessels in the hand of the potter, I don't know, the clay, whatever, you know. I am smarter in Spanish. I'm trying in English. Also, I read this quote and I really like it. It's by Emily Marushan. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but it says, "You are not stuck. You are just committed to certain patterns of behavior because they have helped you in the past. Now, those behaviors have become more harmful than helpful. The reason why you can't move forward is because you keep applying an old formula to a new level in your life. Change the formula to give a different result." With that said, my friends, this is me trying something new in English. You can laugh at my accent. I think it would be very nice for you to take a laugh. And if you're right there and you just feel like this video was for you, leave me a comment. I would like to say hello. And for all my Spanish speaking people, gracias por colocar los subtítulos en español. And I really hope this video blesses you as it comes across you. So, happy Wednesday. We'll see you next Wednesday, right?
Bye.
Say like. Come here. Say like and subscribe. Don't be shy. You're running around like a silly goose.